Okay, so have you ever had that happen? Like someone says something to you that's just like a total dig,
Yeah.
and you just like you just want to fire back.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a like visceral reaction.
Totally.
It's almost like you can't even help it sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's what we're looking at today. Like, what if there's a different way to react?
Right.
And the cool thing is, this different way is not new at all. It's actually super old.
Exact.
We're talking ancient wisdom stuff.
That's right. We're diving into an article called How to Handle Insults Like a Stoic.
Okay, so Stoicism, right?
Yeah, it's all about using reason and virtue to navigate the ups and downs of life.
And the article is using the ideas of like some major Stoic thinkers.
Oh, yeah, like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius Seneca.
Yeah.
These guys were like the rock stars of Stoicism.
I love that they're rock stars.
Yeah, they were dealing with some pretty intense stuff too, like exile and even persecution for their beliefs.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, but they still managed to find this like inner peace and strength through their philosophy.
That's so interesting because it's like their ideas are from like thousands of years ago,
Right.
but they still feel so relevant today.
Totally. Human nature hasn't really changed that much. We still struggle with the same things.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, so our mission today is to like pull out the best Stoic strategies from this article.
Yeah.
Not just like theoretical stuff, but actual practical tips. Stuff
Exactly.
you can actually use to handle those like verbal grenades people throw sometimes.
Right.
And hopefully like walk away feeling calmer and more in control.
Yeah. Think of it like building up your mental resilience.
Okay, so first up, the article talks about this like automatic urge to fight back when someone insults you.
Yeah.
But it makes this point that's really interesting. The insult says more about them than you.
Yeah, it's like a window into their own insecurities and frustrations.
That's such a good point. So why do we like take insults so personally?
Well, I think it's because our egos get involved. We tie our sense of worth to what other people think of us.
Right. So when someone criticizes us, it feels like a direct attack on our identity.
Exactly.
And that's when we like jump into defense mode.
Right.
But the Stoics, they say, hold on a sec.
Yeah, they're all about taking a step back and examining the situation rationally.
Okay, I love this. There's this quote from Epictetus that really stuck with me.
Okay, what is it?
He says, when someone speaks badly of you, you live in such a way that no one believes them.
Oh, that's a good one. It's so powerful.
It's like he's saying, let your actions speak louder than their words.
Exactly.
Don't waste your energy trying to prove them wrong. Just
Yeah.
live a life that demonstrates your true character.
Right, because ultimately your actions are going to have a much bigger impact than any insult.
And I think that's so effective because it shifts the focus from the immediate conflict to the bigger picture.
Yeah, it's about focusing on what you can control, which is your own behavior and your own response.
Okay, so what if someone is spreading lies about you, like stuff that's totally untrue?
Well, the Stoics would say you don't need to defend yourself against falsehoods
Really? Why not?
because the truth will eventually come out on its own.
They wouldn't feel the need to like set the record straight or anything.
Not necessarily. They would say that getting caught up in trying to refute every lie is just going to drain your energy and give the lie more power.
Okay, I'm starting to see like this really different way of thinking about things.
Yeah, it's a real shift in perspective.
Okay, so the article also says that sometimes insults are like these little sneak peeks into the other person's insecurities.
Yeah, like they're projecting their own stuff onto you.
So maybe they're feeling bad about themselves and they're trying to make themselves feel better by putting you down.
Exactly. It's like a defense mechanism.
So in a way, it's actually kind of sad.
Yeah, it is, because it means they're not dealing with their own issues in a healthy way.
So if you can recognize that it can help you to not take the insult so personally,
Right. It takes the sting out of it a bit.
because you realize it's not really about you, it's about them.
Exactly.
And the article says that if you react with anger, you're basically letting them control your emotions.
Right. You're giving them power over you.
But if you stay calm,
Then you retain your power.
it's like a quiet victory.
Yeah, you're showing them that you're not going to let their negativity affect you.
That's so empowering.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the next Stoic lesson. You are not what they say.
Right. You get to decide who you are.
I think this is so important because it's easy to let other people's opinions define us.
Yeah, especially in today's world with social media and everything.
It's like we're constantly bombarded with messages about who we should be and how we should look and what we should think.
Yeah.
But the Stoics are all about like going inward and finding your own truth.
Exactly. They believed that true worth comes from within.
Okay, so Epictetus has another quote that's super helpful here.
Okay, let's hear it.
He says, if evil is spoken of you, and it is true, correct yourself. If it is false, laugh at it.
I love that it's such a simple but powerful framework.
It's like a two-pronged approach.
Yeah, first you gotta look at the insult and see if there's any truth to it.
So if someone says you're lazy and, you haven't been putting in much effort lately,
Then maybe it's time to step it up.
but if the insult is totally off base, like someone calls you a bad friend, when you know you're a loyal and supportive person,
Then you can just laugh it off.
it's like, don't waste your time arguing with someone who's clearly wrong.
Yeah, it's not worth your energy.
The article has this great analogy that I think really helps to illustrate this point.
Oh, I like analogies. What is it?
It says the ocean doesn't shrink when someone calls it small.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's like their words have no power to actually change who you are,
Right. Their insults are just empty noise.
unless you give them power by believing them.
Exactly.
Okay, this next lesson is so relevant for like our always connected world. Your silence is your shield.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. It's so tempting to always want to have the last word.
Especially online. It's like everyone's trying to outdo each other with the best comebacks.
Right. It's like a constant battle of wits.
But the Stoics, they had a totally different perspective.
Yeah, they believe that sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all.
There's this quote from Seneca that sums it up perfectly.
Let's hear it.
He says, "It is a great thing to know the season for speech and the season for silence."
That's so wise.
It's like he's saying that choosing not to engage can be just as strategic as choosing to speak up.
Yeah, it's about knowing when to hold back and when to let your actions do the talking.
And I think silence can be really effective in situations where someone is trying to provoke you.
Oh, yeah?
Like if they're trying to get a rise out of you or start an argument.
If you don't give them the reaction they're looking for, it can be totally disarming.
It's like you're taking away their power.
Exactly.
The article says that a person who's truly secure in themselves doesn't need to win every argument.
Right. Their sense of self-worth isn't dependent on external validation.
They're not looking for approval from other people.
They know who they are and they're comfortable with that.
I love that. Okay, so this next lesson is really cool. It's about reframing insults as opportunities for growth.
Okay, that's interesting. So instead of seeing insults as purely negative things,
The Stoics saw them as chances to practice virtue.
right, like patience, humility, self-control.
It's like they're saying every insult is a little training exercise for your soul.
Yeah, it's a way to build up your mental resilience.
The article points out that Epictetus himself was a slave,
Wow. So he would have faced constant disrespect and insults.
but he chose to see these challenges as opportunities to cultivate inner strength.
It's so inspiring.
It's like he was saying, you can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to it.
And that's where true freedom lies.
So instead of letting an insult get you down,
You can use it as fuel to become an even better version of yourself.
I love, okay, the article gives some examples of how to put this into practice.
Yeah, like what?
So let's say someone calls you incompetent.
Okay,
Instead of getting defensive and arguing with them.
you could focus on improving your skills and proving them wrong through your actions.
Exactly. Or someone accuses you of being dishonest.
You can make a conscious effort to be even more truthful and transparent in your dealings.
It's like you're embodying the opposite of the insult.
Yeah, and that's a powerful way to silence your critics.
Okay, now think about this. We've all had that experience where someone says something mean to us,
Yeah.
and then it just like sticks in our heads all day.
Oh, yeah, it can totally ruin your mood.
You're like replaying the conversation over and over in your mind.
And you just can't seem to let it go.
And that brings us to our next Stoic lesson. Don't let an insult define your whole day.
Because you're bigger than that.
The article has this analogy that I think is so helpful.
I love analogies. Let's hear it.
It says, just because someone throws mud at you doesn't mean you have to rub it all over your shirt and wear it for the rest of the day.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's like you have a choice. You can either let the mud stick to you or you can brush it off.
Yeah, we don't have to let someone else's negativity dictate our emotional state.
So the key is to let go of the insult as quickly as possible.
Right? Don't dwell on it. Don't give it more power than it deserves.
Because insults are often just fleeting moments. They don't define who you are.
Exactly.
And when you hold on to them, you're basically letting someone else live rent-free in your head.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Okay, this next lesson is all about perspective. The opinion of a troubled soul is not a reflection of your worth.
That's an interesting one.
The Stoics believed that people who are truly happy and content don't go around insulting others.
Right. Their own inner peace radiates outwards.
So if someone's being mean to you, it might be a sign that they're struggling with something themselves.
Yeah, it's like they're projecting their own unhappiness onto you.
And Epictetus has this really insightful teaching.
What is it?
He says, it is not their actions that disturb us, but our interpretations of them.
Oh, that's deep.
It's like he's saying that we have the power to choose how we react to other people's behavior.
Yeah, we can decide whether to let their words affect us or not.
So instead of taking an insult personally,
You can try to see it as a reflection of their own internal state.
and maybe even have a little compassion for them.
Right, because they might be going through something really difficult.
And remember, their words say more about them than they do about you.
Exactly.
Okay, last but not least, the article brings us to this really powerful concluding lesson.
Okay, what is it?
True power is calm. The strongest person in the room doesn't need to prove it.
I love that it's so true.
It's like that saying the quietest person in the room is often the most powerful.
Yeah, because they're not trying to prove anything to anyone.
They're just comfortable with who they are.
Exactly.
And the article connects this idea to the ego.
Oh, yeah, our egos can be so fragile.
And when they feel threatened, they lash out.
Right, it's like a defense mechanism.
But the Stoics, they were all about, like, transcending the ego.
Yeah, they believed that true strength lies in humility and self-control.
There's this amazing quote from Marcus Aurelius that really drives this point home.
Okay, what is it?
He says, "How much more harmful are the consequences of anger than the circumstances that arouse them in us?"
That's so profound.
It's like he's saying that our reactions to things can often be more damaging than the things themselves.
Yeah, we can end up hurting ourselves more than the person who insulted us.
So the next time you feel that urge to retaliate,
Take a deep breath and remember that true power lies in calmness and composure,
it's about choosing peace over anger.
in responding with wisdom rather than reacting with emotion.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Stoic approach to handling insults,
Yeah.
I think the main takeaway is that by applying these principles, we can develop a real inner resilience.
Right, we can become unshakable in the face of negativity.
It's about focusing on what we can control: our own thoughts, our own actions, our own responses.
And not letting other people's words dictate our emotional state.
And that brings us to the final question posed by the article.
Okay, what is it?
How will you handle the next insult you encounter?
That's a great question for all of us to ponder.
It's a challenge to put these Stoic lessons into practice,
Yeah, but the rewards are worth it.
because ultimately it's about finding greater peace and freedom in our lives.
Exactly.
And if you're interested in exploring Stoicism further, we highly recommend checking out the original article.
Yeah, there's so much wisdom to be found in these ancient teachings.
And as you go about your day, maybe ask yourself this: what does it really mean to be strong?
That's a great question to reflect on.
Is it about having the best comebacks or winning every argument?
Or is it about cultivating an inner strength that allows you to remain calm and composed no matter what challenges you face?
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.